Hi everybody. It's been a minute since I did a video. A lot has been going on, definitely with everybody. But I just found myself thinking about it and why is it hard to be like basically consistent. I've been going through like just trying to follow through my spiritual authority, like my pastor, Pastor Lee. Another spiritual authority is Apostle Wambogo, and I just try to just look at how they do things or how things flow in their life. And I've had a chance to at least have a personal conversation with them, and then I realized that regardless of everything that is going on, regardless of the various challenges that they may be going through, somehow they're still consistent in whatever they do in the work of God. They're still consistent. And it brought me to just try to just wondering why then is it like an issue to be consistent? At least for me, finding it hard to be consistent in what I do, especially coming to doing the videos. It's a tough one though. Definitely a lot has been going on. Some situations become inevitable to even have a moment to do a video or just to share my thoughts or just general consistency. Some are inevitable, some probably maybe blaming it on something, yet I just don't want to push myself. Sometimes things just get too overwhelming and you find yourself not really up for the task. And then I found myself just trying to look back at probably where did it all start, or where is this all coming from. And it was a bit of a rough patch, or rather a rough space just to try to think things through. Growing up where you face and you see your parents separate, in your knowledge, like you're not old, but you notice what is going on and you understand the difference, and you understand, well, not really understand, but you see the difference, and to you relationship is not consistent. To you think this is how life should be. What you know has broken, and then now there's that imbalance. Having a relationship with your siblings, not quite a strong relationship. My brother was always my bully. My sister had my back, but she wasn't always near or rather close. Actually, she spent almost her school life in boarding school. So the few chances I got to interact with her were not so much. My brother, on the other hand, who I was with most of the time, was mostly a bully. But it's understandable, siblings. Then you grow up and you get into life, and you find then you get into relationships. Then what you thought you knew about relationships is not what you see, and nothing for you is stable. Like nothing you ever do is stable. You get into a relationship, it's not stable. You break up. You try a business, it's not stable. It breaks up. The relationship at some point with my mom was not a relationship, and you see outside, you see how other people relate with their folks, and you want that, but you can't get it. and everything to you is unstable. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to justify my inconsistency in any way. I'm just trying to like go through or try to figure out where the problem could be at. And in everything in life, in everything we do, we don't, at least just try, at least I try and see where the root cause is. Where if I find something not adding up, I try to see, okay, this is happening too often, so what could be the problem? Where could it had all started from? And it's just basically about the things that you thought you knew would be lasting, you know. On the TV, or rather in your friends, you see a well-put family. I'm not saying families don't have issues, but you see like a neat family, you know, with or without issues, they're still together, and you long for that, but you can't get it. It becomes overwhelming sometimes. It becomes heavy until you realize that you have grown into a person who wants affection, or rather wants love, but you can't give it because you don't know how to give it. Like on Sunday, we were being taught about brave communication, and Apostle Dennis Ombogo was teaching us on how you can't communicate something you don't know how to communicate. Like it's just an example. Like if I haven't received love all my life, I wouldn't know how to communicate love to anybody, because I don't know it. I don't know how to communicate love is. And it just keeps you wondering and just thinking about life and about everything. And funny enough, when the Bible says that nothing can separate us from God, from the love of God, like literally nothing can separate us from the love of God. And I remember also thinking Jeremiah, he says that my love is everlasting, that his love is not pegged on anything. His love is not pegged on how good we are, or how consistent, lack of a better word, we are, or how it really doesn't matter how we operate or how we are or who we are. His love is just there. And trying to just to look back at everything and just find out that he was there all along. In the moments of vulnerability, in the moments of rejection, in the moments of despair, he was there all along. I know I have a long way to go. I know I have a lot to do and a lot to work on, especially when it comes to consistency. And it reaches a point in your life you can't always blame everything on everybody else, but you know, you can't just always, something happening in your life, you're like, hey, it's because of this happened, or another thing happens, you're like, hey, it's because of this. No, it reaches a point in your life and you're like, yeah, I know that happened in my life. I know I went through that. I know this happened. I know this person rejected me. I know this person insulted me or whatever they did. And I know all that, but I cannot always live in that bubble. It's a bit heavy. Because in as at least a few videos I've been able to share, and how my life unfolded from a neat family to a broken family, to now living with your cousin, to now your mom is in abroad and your dad is in another town, like a better word, and you're in this new family setup and things are not working as they should, and you find yourself even most of the time just in the bathroom, like you're pretending to take a shower and just crying, and just wondering where did it all go wrong? What happened? Why is this happening to me? And it reaches a point that it entirely affects even your communication. It affects how you see people. You find yourself more comfortable when you're by yourself, when you're locked up in a room or just locked up in your own world, and you don't want to reach out, you don't want to do anything. Like, people will always disappoint you, people will always not meet the end of the bargain. I remember in 2005, I sort of thought I had a fresh start. I thought I had a fresh start. I enrolled into a college and I started doing business administration. And in January, I think, yeah. No. I started in June, yeah. And then my dad fell ill, and in July 2009, 9th July 2005, same year, he passed on. And I remember during that time, I before I even started college, I remember telling myself that I disappointed him in high school, and my goal or my purpose or my everything, my whole energy was like, if I get a college, whatever college, I at this point I don't care what I get, but if I get that, I will do like everything in my power to graduate and just make him proud. And a month later, he passed on. And the circumstances around his death, to date, they're still not. I can say I probably maybe I haven't come to terms with that. He passed on from a high fall, like from the 9th floor of Kenyatta Hospital to the ground. And at that time it was only me and him. My brother, my sister, and my mom were all in abroad. And I thought, this is, it's you and me. And I knew I had this. I knew I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make him proud. I'm gonna do what I can, and we're gonna get through this together. And so when that happened, even the enthusiasm or the vigor or the interest of even graduating, even doing anything, just flew out the window. I think I had pegged on that, me graduating and me making him proud. I think I had pegged it on him. Like, when he was out of the picture, the dream like faded, or the dream just died and it was shattered. And I really didn't understand why that happened. I tried to come to terms with it. And even though I was surrounded, let me just say for now, by fake friends, lack of a better word, even though I felt the love, I was still empty. I was still in thoughts. I was still in a maze, just trying to figure out what happened, why. And it was heavy. and the best way I knew how was to probably just hang out friends, influence in terms of drinking with my then girlfriend, and we just to try and numb the pain, just to try and numb the thoughts, just to try and just coexist. And even after death, even after his death, even coming to the burial, it was not easy because someone then started rumors about me, and someone close in the family actually started rumors about me, and it was so I actually never had a good time to mourn my dad because I was busy dealing with whatever was going on, and everything was just seeming not falling into place. And instantly my life changed, and instantly everything turned upside down for me. And even after getting like a couple of weeks off from school and going back to school and trying to get the momentum, trying to get back on track and everything, and then boom, it hit me that life was totally different. Like I wouldn't study with the enthusiasm that I had before. I wouldn't put my all. Like it's like a shattered dream, and you're just now existing, just trying to finish up what you started, but there's no zeal, there's no compassion with what you're doing. And in that, it just made me wonder why, just a lot of heaviness, and just trying to figure out what really happened or what. And then now, aside from that, now life became totally different in the sense that even getting school fees to pay for my college it became a hassle. That I had to eventually drop out of college because of that. And it was funny because you can't share with anybody. You can't share with anybody and tell them, okay, hey, I need help. Because where we were staying in K South, my mom had rentals. She was abroad. My sister was abroad. My bro was abroad. So I was the only one who was in Kenya. So to approach someone and tell them I need help someone would have said that I'm joking, or it was absurd. There was no basis for me to, and I knew how to mask it. I knew how to cover it, and that was my life. And you see, when just going back with everything, every relationship is falling down, everything is crumbling down, everything you think you're gonna hold on falls down, every dream you think you're gonna hold on and it reaches a point then you realize, wow, by default you have cultivated an inconsistent kind of a scenario. Your brain has recorded inconsistency, and you find yourself living in the same pattern that the brain has already created. And getting out of it is not as easy as just saying, hey, all right, I'm getting out of it. It takes time, it takes process, it takes practice. And sometimes even as you practice, some things come on, and life, at the end of the day, life is still moving, right? Life is still every day is still passing by, so every day comes with its own issues or whatever. So things are still coming in. It's not like you sit there and you're just saying, okay, let me think about my life, and you take a week and you take 2 weeks. No, because every day things are happening. Every day things are coming up. Every day responsibilities are coming up. Every day, so it's not like you have that time to sit back. So you have to adjust yourself and work through whatever it is that is going on with your life. You have to, adjust. And then it reminds me that God says in His Word that He knows the beginning from the end. I think I've quoted that, but that verse really, really, really just keeps me just in a space of kind of not real stability, but some sort of peace comes in, and because He knows. Because before He said, "Let there be light," He knew. the end before he said, let there be light. Because to God, a thought is something that actualizes. That's why the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. And since we are made in the image of God, so as he is, so are we. So when he thinks, and the major difference between man and God is that God has no plan B. God has no doubt. God has no, will it work, will it not? God has nothing. What he thinks, he says, it becomes. It's as simple as that. So before he said, let there be light, he knew even the end. When man disobeyed God and the separation, the split became, and now he was chased out of the Garden of Eden, that was not something new to God. Because the Bible says in Revelation that the Lamb was slain before the foundations of the world. So that means before the foundation, before the world was created, the Lamb was slain. So Jesus, the pattern of the plan of Jesus coming to die and his sacrifice redeeming us back to the original script of God was already, everything was already, before God said, let there be light, everything had already been planned out. And so it brings back to my issue, and I think things through, and I'm like, okay, it has to come from me. It has to come from my mindset. And I know, and I say, if I say I'm going to be doing a video a week, or I'm going to be doing, I have to be consistent with that. I have to focus on that. I have to make sure that happens regardless of what is going on. And regardless of whatever happened between Genesis and Matthew, the plan was still there for Christ to come. Oh, Matthew. The plan was still there for Christ to come. And regardless of what happened in Noah and Joseph and Moses and the children of Israel and the kings and the judges, and before, even with all that was going on, the plan was still intact. The plan is still in play. And God has never been inconsistent in any way. And that is why you see even Jesus, when he's praying, like when he prayed when he called forth Lazarus, because that's not calling, when he called forth Lazarus from the grave, his prayer was, Father, I know that you hear me, but for the sake of this that I hear. So he was confident enough that he wasn't calling forth Lazarus from the dead in any doubt. And he was confident enough and said, Father, because I know you hear me, as in me and you, there's no, I don't doubt you hear me, I don't doubt you don't do what you, there's no doubt. But because of these people who are here that need to witness and see your greatness, that's why I'm crying out to you, that's why I'm calling out to you, that's why I'm you get what I'm saying? But to him, there was no doubt, there was no, he knew what he needed to do. And it brings me to this space of understanding, like, my feelings, well, they do matter, but in terms of what I have to do in life, not only about videos, what I have to do in life, basically, I have to do it regardless of how I feel or how things turn out. I have to push myself to be consistent so that I can be a better person. I can leave a mark in whatever I do, in everything that I do. I can be, because if I do something and I'm affected by someone's insult, or I'm affected by, then I stop doing what I'm doing, and I now turn focus to whatever the insult or the person or whatever, and now whatever I was doing has halted. And before now I leave that, then I come back to everything is in chaos. And so I'm reminded about just praying and focusing on being consistent, because at the end of the day, everything, the Bible says, nothing was created except through him, and everything that was created for him, and nothing that was created except by him. And so the sole focus is on Jesus Christ. So I like it or I don't like it, I do this or I do that, the focus is on Jesus Christ. And if I'm able to focus that, everything else falls into place. And just an encouragement for those probably who feel maybe inconsistent in one way or another, just have a focus. If your focus is Jesus, then everything else falls into place. Because if my focus is in Jesus, then when I'm stressed out, I'm not going to rush and go to take a beer to relieve my stress. I'm just gonna cry out unto him and continue doing what I need to do for his glory. I remember one time talking to my pastor, and that sermon was so powerful, and I went and just said, wow, I'm blessed. And then I noticed something with her, and I said, are you okay? And she said, no, I haven't been okay for the past week. And I was like, so you weren't okay for the past week, and this is how you preach? What if you are okay? Then what happens, you know? And then, to them, regardless of what happens in their life, they have to focus on they have to be purposeful to focus on the main agenda, and the main agenda is Christ. So if I want to be someone that I am proud of, I have to also follow suit and just focus on Jesus Christ, regardless of whatever is happening, and understand that Jesus knows everything that is happening in my life, because the Bible says he knows. He never sleeps nor slumbers, so he knows what is happening in my life. And he knows my tomorrow. He knows my 10 years down the line. He knows my 20 years down. He knows. And it's up to me to focus and just remain in him and just trust that whatever is happening is going to pass by, but my focus on him should remain constant, and everything that concerns him should remain constant. I hope you have been blessed. I really do hope you have been blessed, and I pray that we remain constant and remain focused. Not on anything, just be focused on Jesus. He's it. Everything was created for him and by him, and for him and through him, and without him nothing would be created. So everything is focused on Jesus. Thank you for your time. God bless you, and see you soon.